Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new review of Animal Kingdom Season 5, Episode 4. We've got our own little animal here and Coco Chanel Vanderwolf.
Yes, if you want to see more pictures of her, head over to our Instagram, Matt and Jess TV.
Pope's going through it. Can we just say that this is just the season of Pope going through it in 1,000 different ways?
This overall was sort of the episode that I've been waiting for, where we actually started to see some moves going on within this family and have the story start to move forward.
It's inevitable there was going to be conflict. There had to be conflict between these guys because all of them want, that big piece of the pie. And of course, they all have different ideas as to how to go about it. So yeah, I think to have those seeds of conflict start to be sown, it was really, really valuable, and I'm glad we're starting to move in this direction a little bit.
Yeah, it's time. They needed something for Craig and Deran to do, and at least one of them got some story.
And with that in mind, if you guys do enjoy this discussion, hit that subscribe button. We are here every week talking about all things Animal Kingdom, plus other great shows like Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, American Horror Stories, The Blacklist, and a whole lot more.
Okay, so one of my beefs from last week was that they figured out that Jay has stolen from Smurf, which is stealing from them. And then we saw Craig and Deran go outside and kind of be like, oh, well, this isn't good. Okay, well, what are we going to do about it? Well, nothing is sort of where they ended. And I felt kind of like that just doesn't make any sense. That it was just going to kind of sit in that spot. So this episode where we finally had Deran be like, take me to this bowling alley. You are going to sell your condo. You're going to split the money with us. Also give me, the combo to the safe. Now I'm going to go and talk to Pete. This is what I needed to see from Deran. Just take control and stop getting screwed over by Jay for no reason.
It felt like to me that Jay was taking advantage of sort of Deran's emotional vulnerability for a while. Because,
for sure, yeah.
He knew that Deran was going through stuff after Adrian left, and it was just an opportunity for him to strike while the iron's hot. But I kind of felt like Deran got his you-know-what together in this episode. He made moves. We finally got to actually see Pamela Johnson in the present day thanks to him.
Yeah, so he decided to show up at Pamela's house, and we knew that this was gotta be coming at some point. Even she did too. She was just like, okay, so which one are you? Which of her kids are you, sort of thing. He was like, I'm Deran, let's have a talk. And it went the way that I kind of thought that it would. Pamela's not a pushover, and I think just Deran doesn't really know what to expect, which is why he went there with a gun.
Yeah, I love the writing around her where she was just like, you brought a gun to our first negotiation. That tells me a lot about you. And in general, what I found most fascinating was Pamela, and who knows if she's being honest or not, but sort of suggesting to Deran that she doesn't even know why she was left this money by Smurf.
No, she said she doesn't really know, but is it possible she's lying to him? She does know, sure. All we've gotten out of her is that she feels that if Smurf was going to leave stuff to her children, she would have, and that changing it around just because Deran feels it's unfair is not a good enough reason.
Yeah, and I know what Deran was doing with his manipulative, she wasn't of her right mind, she was dying, and it's just Smurf is very deliberate. We can call her a lot of things, but she often is very in control of whatever decision that she makes.
Yeah, but what I did like was Pamela saying there's a way for you to kind of earn some of this. So we saw that Pamela's living really well. The minute she said, I don't really need money, you don't even need to say it. We're looking around your kitchen and it's marble this and beautiful that. I mean, she clearly doesn't need money.
No.
But how is she earning that money? Because seeing her in the past, we saw that she was trying to get on, the more straight and narrow path, and she really wanted to move away from the life of crime. So did she? What is she really doing to earn that money? But the minute that she said to Deran, you can earn that money, I was like, okay, maybe she did end up getting back into the game in a bit of a smarter way.
I think she's got to be involved in well, I guess to me it's more fun if she's involved in the game and she's just like some sort of like ultra white collar criminal who like gets other people, other stooges to do like her dirty work for her. And hey, here's a potential stooge for you right here in Deran. I'm not saying Deran's an idiot, but Deran is somebody who's more than fine to go out in the field and cause some problems.
Okay, so let's talk about someone who is an idiot. We're going to talk about Craig. Craig needs a story really bad. I'm done with, him just being a dad and talking to the surf shop guy who's going to come look after his kid and then he's going to hire other kids to get all the scooters together. Like, he's had this fight with the scooters going on now for 4 episodes. 4 episodes. You guys can't figure out what to do with Craig, like, for real?
It felt to me like, okay, we need to bring in someone who can kind of look after the kid so that if Craig is off causing some problems somewhere and they don't have him for whatever reason in an episode, they could be like, okay, don't worry, guys. Craig is still being a father. He's making sure somebody's looking after the kid. I was like, okay, is this the point of this storyline? Because it's really not that much of a point.
Craig needs something to do. Like, even if he's just brought in on Deran trying to clean up Jay's mess and trying to deal with stuff, just bring him in on that. Those 2 brothers are close. Whatever they got going on with Craig, guys, like, this was not entertaining at all.
No, I mean, at least, like, Jay's story wasn't even my favorite story in this episode, but it was like, at least it was a story, though. I do have a question about a lot of these party attendees that show up at the house. It's like, do you guys not... Is there no word on the street about the Cody house and sort of the legends that are around it? Like, if somebody invited me to this house, I would be like, nah, I'm good. I'm never going there.
I will say that I am glad that we saw Craig have a conversation with Frankie. That Frankie was brought up. He was kind of like, what the heck is going on? Why is this a thing? Like, you know what? I'm going to deal with it because I'm the person that has pass with her. And to sort of see that back and forth and that they were able to negotiate something a little bit better, at least he has that going on.
It's something. I will say that. He's still far and away on the bottom of the pecking order here. And also, if you're going to bring back Frankie, I want to see bigger stuff for her as well. Like, we know what she's capable of.
Yeah, hopefully they're just... It's normal Animal Kingdom where it's a slow climb and then we start falling over the side at episode like 7, 8, 9, 10.
I hope so. Well, let's talk about Pope because we've waited long enough. I think the Pope stuff was just really, really interesting in this episode.
Yes, we finally are starting to get somewhere with what Pope is really struggling with, what the actual moment is, because for most of this, I thought that he's only struggling with the fact that his mom is dead. Yeah. And that's actually not it. At the end of the episode, we saw him get into it with Jay, that it's that he shot Smurf in front of all of them, in front of all of her sons, shot her dead. That actually is the thing that is having the effect on him more so than anything else, watching his mom get killed in front of him.
I appreciate just having that clarity now, and I like, Pope lashing out at Jay over it. Like, it was needed. It was just so important to see that.
All of the brothers I thought would be having way bigger reactions to Smurf being killed. Was she the mother of the year? No.
Yeah.
But that is still their mom.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But obviously, Pope has a way different relationship with her, and this is really hurting him. The fact that we even saw that he's having, since she was killed, he's been having these episodes where he's just showing up places and he doesn't know why, and he's waking up and he's in handcuffs, or he's bleeding out of his head and he doesn't know what's going on.
Like, it's a horrible place psychologically for him to be in. And, and I know that Pope is not exactly a model citizen either, but he's just so layered that I think you can sort of understand where he's at more than almost anybody else. in the Codys, and he knew that Smurf was in a bad way when Jay killed her. Like, he wasn't living in the dark about that, but there's just a clear difference between sort of having the time to say goodbye to someone on your own terms and then just, like, having that person taken immediately in front of you. And, I mean, regardless of whether or not that's what Smurf wanted, I don't think Pope is really thinking about what Smurf wanted at this given moment.
No, I think it was a really shocking thing for him to witness. And having him be committed where he had to stay at the hospital and he had to actually talk to a therapist a little bit was very revealing. Because the thing that I got out of it the most is that Pope wants someone to talk to. Yes. He really does. I mean, we saw him even try to talk to Jay, of all people. He's tried to talk to his brothers to kind of be like, where have you guys been? Like, he needs someone to talk to. Even to the point that the therapist said, do you want to stay for another 24 hours? And he said yes. Yeah, Jay came and was like, come on, let's go. These guys get into your head. But he really does want someone to talk to.
That was heartbreaking, that whole scene with him and the therapist. It was just, it shattered me on some level, because it's just like, this guy is so alone. And it's like, even at the very end of the episode, where we have the woman come in and sort of ask for the bathroom at first or whatever, and then she ends up sitting with him for a moment. It's just like, okay, it's even just like this little moment of social interaction. You can see that Pope wants it, but there's just the Popeness of him is such that he's inevitably going to kind of scare people off, because he's just like, he's so intense and so it's like dark.
Yeah, and that moment was actually a really important moment where she was kind of like, oh yeah, I work at a pediatrician's office. Yeah. I work with children. And that question of, do the sick kids ever get better? Like, yeah, of course she's like, I got to go to the bathroom. Yeah. But he's asking for himself, kind of, am I ever going to get better, or am I just going to be like this until the end of time?
He needed someone to give him a little bit of consolation. Like, clearly, the rest of his family isn't going to do jack in order to help him. They're, like, so transfixed on whatever sort of job or whatever else they have coming up.
Yeah.
Where I'm hoping that this goes from here now is that, I felt like Pope was kind of a little more all right letting at least Jay run certain things than maybe Deran or Craig. But I just think now, if there was any sort of alliance between them, like, it's totally shattered. But if Pope is going to be like a leader, how is Pope going to be a leader? Like, he's still in like this fugue. He's still just like lost in this fog.
It feels like he could be a leader if he can get to the other side of this, but without anyone to talk to. And he clearly wants somebody to talk to. He's willing to talk to one of Jay's girls at the house, the therapist, Jay, like anybody. If he can just get some help to get to the other side of this, he could be a very strong leader. It's just there are things about himself he knows he needs to work on, and he just can't get that help.
I want to say that this was like the rock bottom and it's going to get better now, but this is Animal Kingdom. I'm worried that it's still going to get worse for Pope before it gets better.
Especially if Pamela is coming in on some stuff. They don't really know her. They don't know if they can trust her. They just know that Smurf did. Mm-hmm. So at least there's that. But yeah, things are starting to come together for most of the boys. They're getting some stories.
Finally. All right, well, let's hear from you guys. What story did you like the most from Animal Kingdom this week? Share in the comments. Subscribe for more updates. We talk about Animal Kingdom every week.
Yep.
We'll see you guys here next time.